24/7. We are in selection MCQ series for retail banking and wealth management. And today's topic is DSAs or BCs, business correspondent. Here, in nationalized banks we have business correspondent, and in private banks we have DSAs. So the objective questions on the DSAs or BCs in banking. Okay, important topic from retail banking point of view. So watch the video till the end. Let's start. What is the session today? Means how will the session move? Here we'll first discuss what are DSAs. Then we'll discuss what are business correspondents. Then we'll discuss mis-selling by these both DSAs or BCs, right? And then we'll go for objective questions. So action-packed session. 4 important points over here. Okay, let's start. What are DSAs basically? Direct selling agents. Means what? These are not company employees or these are not bank employees. Okay, DSAs are agencies appointed by banks to source business for them on fee basis. Okay, means these DSAs are appointed by the banks. Not only banks, now see, now even NBFCs might appoint it. That's not an issue, isn't it? So mainly we are concerned with the banks. So these are appointed by the banks and these are not the paid employees of the bank. These are on the fee basis, like the agent, LIC agent, right? Insurance agent, what do we see? LIC agent. Is the LIC agent the employee of the LIC? Can anyone tell me? Yeah. Is LIC agent the agent of employee of LIC? How many of you say he or she is an employee? Correct. LIC agent is not an employee of LIC. He is just an agent working on a fee basis. He or she. Okay. So similarly, DSA is not the employee of the bank. He or she means what? DSA can be a company also, an individual also, anything. So the company or the individual works only on fee basis. Banks which do not have branch penetration and geography to service large sections of customers seek the help of DSAs for sourcing business on behalf of the bank and also complete the preliminary formalities for acquiring the customers. Look at the important word, preliminary. Okay. Now when I say about DSAs, when I say this thing about DSAs, it also applies to BCs, business correspondent. Okay, because in nationalized banks we appoint BCs, business correspondents, and in private banks we appoint DSAs. Logic is same for both. Okay, both are never the paid employees of the bank, right? So why do the banks appoint these BCs or DSAs? The reason being branch penetration. See here, setting up the branch requires such a huge cost. Firstly, rent or buying the property, right? Then all the running expenses. Running means electricity, salaries, all these things. Okay, stationery, all these things. And what do we get from that? If you are going in some village where the profitability is low, then the whole amount goes into a waste. Okay, so what do the banks follow now? Instead of going in for a branch as such, what will they do? They'll appoint a private party over there, DSA, okay, or BC. That DSA or BC will be working in those villages. Generally one DSA gets the village, not single village. Generally one DSA or BC gets around 4 to 5 villages, nearby villages, so that the business is also sufficient for that person. If somebody goes for single village only, there won't be sufficient business. That BC or DSA won't work for long, isn't it? So coming back, when the banks do not have that much penetration, so what do? They appoint this DSA, and the main job of the DSA is preliminary formalities, means collecting the documents from the customers and bringing it to the branch. That's it. The DSAs or BCs cannot decide whom to give the loan, whose account is to be opened, what product to be sold to that customer. They cannot decide. The decision part is always done by the banks itself. Okay, so understand this concept. Preliminary formalities is important word and fee basis is an important word over here. Okay, business correspondent. BC acts as an extension of the bank itself. So it's an extension of bank. Extension means what? Again remember, although the BC acts as an extension, but BC is not the bank. Tomorrow if some BC does some error or mis-selling anything, bank can immediately separate itself from the BC. Okay, to provide banking related services in areas which does not have the access to such services. Don't you find a commonality between this BC and the DSA, where branch doesn't have the access, isn't it? The intent of the BC model is financial inclusion in order to connect everyone to the banking system, right? What do you mean by financial inclusion? Remember, financial inclusion doesn't only mean, if I say financial inclusion, everyone comes up with only one answer: Jan Dhan account, right? Jan Dhan. But remember, Jan Dhan account is not the only part of financial inclusion. All the insurance schemes, right? Those 438 now, right? 436 premium. That, then general insurance 20 rupees, then Atal Pension Yojana, right? Then for SMEs we have this financial inclusion. Okay, so all these come under financial inclusion, not only Jan Dhan accounts. So the job of BC now has worsened, means become bigger. It has become bigger from opening just Jan Dhan accounts to providing loans to MSMEs also. Mean they can, of course, they don't decide on it. They'll just bring the documents, connect with the customer, process inform the customer about the bank's views or bank's decision. That's it. The scope includes, among other things, creating awareness about savings and other products, and education and advice on money managing and debt counseling. Debt counseling means loans. Okay. So again we have come to the loan part. That's what I said. BCs are no more restricted to opening just accounts. Their job has moved from accounts to money and debt management, counseling, processing and submission of applications to the banks. Got it, everyone? Clear the concept? Before going ahead, download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app you will be getting premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests, everything you will be getting. Okay, so you get all these things: premium study material, live classes, ebooks, everything. So in important part is the exam is nearing. Okay, so you must first focus on, importantly everyone, you must first focus on clearing the exam. That's why download this app immediately. Okay, let's move on. Mis-selling by DSAs or BCs. Now this is also an important concern for the banking system. Mis-selling by DSAs has been rampant, especially in credit card space, which makes the customer fall into a debt trap. Okay, by misusing the cards. So mis-selling means what? The DSAs give the wrong information sometimes. Even the BCs give the wrong information. Here, it's not limited to DSA or BC. Wrong information can be given by the employee also. Remember, so anyone can give the wrong information. So same is the case with DSAs and BCs. Okay. Similarly, the pricing of loans are not explained properly. Pricing of loan means what? There is something called as MID. What do you mean by MID? Or MITD they call it. MITC they call it. Some banks call it MID. Okay. So it means one and the same: most important terms and conditions and most important document. So these two things, these two documents or these two important points, this should be told by every DSA to the customer. Most important terms and conditions include what? They include what are the rate of interest, what is the period, what is the EMI. These all things should be included in this MID or MITC. Ultimately, this will result in dissatisfaction for the customers and reputation risk for the banks. After all, see this: if anything goes wrong, customer won't blame the DSA or that BC. Customer will blame the bank as such. Okay, means let me give you one simple example. If there is one recovery agent, okay, who comes from any bank, okay, a recovery agent, and he does all the shouting and everything on the doorstep of somebody, on your doorstep, let's say, Tomorrow you don't pay a loan something, the recovery agent comes and does shouting and everything. Whom will you complain against? Will you complain against that DSA or will you complain against the bank? Right? We'll be complaining against the bank, right? Why? Because we know the bank, we don't know the DSA. Same thing is with the customer. Customer will definitely look at attach this DSA to the banking system, okay, to the bank as such. So that's why we have to put a keen eye on the DSA's working. The primary responsibility of direct banking direct selling agent or representative, means it can be DSA or this BC. The primary responsibility is what? Decide if the account can be opened or not, decide if the loan can be given or not, collect the documents, and none of the above. So who can answer me now? Yeah, the primary responsibility of any bank, DSA or BC is what? Deciding if the account can be opened or not. Does the BC or DSA decide whether the account can be opened or not? No. Decide if the loan can be given or not. Does the BC or the DSA decide if the loan can be given or not? No. Then what is the job? The job is to just collect the documents, okay, and give it to the bank. That's it. There's no other role of the BC or the direct or that DSA. Okay, got it, everyone? Clear? DSA builds a client base for the banking direct sellings through. Means this DSA should build a client base. How should the BSA contact the clients? New customers. So let's see. Prospecting, networking and referrals on the field. Number 1. Number 2, capturing walk-ins in the bank. Number 3 or C, both A and B, and D is none of the above. Now what does this mean? Suppose this is a branch, let's say, okay, this is a branch. Okay, now branch, we have all employees. Now where should the DSA be located? I have seen in many banks the DSAs are in the bank. They sit, they have a chair, separate chair in the bank. Okay, so this DSA or this BC, we call it BCs in nationalized banks. So these BCs or DSAs have a separate chair. What do? Any customer who enters in, first this BC or DSA talks to this customer. Now what happens because of that? Is this the right way? Firstly tell me, is this the right way that DSA or BC should sit in the branch in one corner and speak to each and every customer? And even I have seen many of the bank employees, they get so fed up with the job, with the working as such, that the preliminary inquiries are offloaded to the BCs or DSAs. Now what happens because of that? All the new walk-ins in the branch go to DSA. So should the BC or DSA work in this fashion, or is this the right way? Number 1. Number 2, where should that BC or DSA be located then? So the point over here is prospecting, networking and referrals on the field. Number 2, capturing walk-ins in the branch. And number 3, both A and B. So both A and B are allowed. So he should sit over here also, and he should go into the city also. Okay, whole city he must collect the documents and get the customers. So what will the bank employees do in that case? The role of bank employees is also selling. Going out in the city is also the bank employee's job. Serving the customers coming into the bank is also the bank employee's job. So the DSA or BC should not capture walk-ins in the branch. Prospecting, networking and referrals on the field, this is the job of this DSA or BC. The office of DSA or BC should be located in some other part of the city, not near the branch. I have seen many DSAs or BCs near the branch. So what happens? All the customers go to BC only, rather than going in for the employees, for the bank. So that is the wrong thing. DSA or BC should not capture the customers coming from in the branch. That is the bank's sales. Okay. So the DSA or BC should work in the field, do the networking on himself or herself, find the referrals and get the customers. Okay. Before going ahead, subscribe to Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. In this channel, You will be getting all the updates for JAIIB, CAIIB and various banking exams, number one. Number two, you will be getting free YouTube series. Free means, right now what are you watching? You're watching the free YouTube series only. So you will be getting all the free YouTube series on all the subjects of JAIIB and CAIIB. Okay. So subscribe to it, click on the bell icon. So benefits of DSAs or BC also. So benefit of DSA or BC is it reduces the operational cost. It saves the man hours and manpower in the branch. Now this man hours, I don't feel it's the right word. It should be working hours, isn't it? Does only man work in the branch? No, right? So man hours and manpower. It should be working hours and working power. Okay, it should be overall employee power. It saves working hours and working power in the bank. It enables the banker to cater to the needs of the individuals and all of the above. So that is the right thing. What do you say? Is it A, B, C or D? D means all of the above, all of them. So what do you say? Should be the answer. Is it only A or is it D? Everyone, just think over it. Is it only A or both? A and both means D, all of the above. What do you say? It is everyone, correct? Correct. It is D, right? All of the above. Got it, everyone? It is all of the above. Okay. A typical job description of banking DSA representative role may include. So what is the JD? What does it include in this DSA? Develops new business prospects in specific geographic areas through cold calls. Interacts with branch customers to increase sales of the bank products and services. Interacts with branch customers. Unfamiliar with the standard concepts. Unfamiliar with the standard concept, practices and procedures with the particular field. So unfamiliar. Okay. So the JD should include what? Should the DSA, first thing, okay, A is the right answer. Everyone amongst you might be feeling that. They develop new business prospects in specific geographic areas through cold calls. Cold calls means what? Cold calling means I'll go to the customer directly without any reference, okay, of the bank, means from the bank. Of course, whenever any DSA or BC visits the customer, he or she firstly tells the customer from which bank have they come in. Okay, so they must definitely identify themselves with some bank, but they should not get the references from the branch. Interact with the branch customers to increase sales. Now, branch customers means those who come in the branch, they'll interact with them. Then what's the use of the employees? Isn't it? So B is out. Unfamiliar with the standard concept, practices, procedures with a particular field means if some DSA is working in home loans, okay, so don't you think this DSA should know nitty-gritties of home loans, at least the basics? What type of customer should be contacted? What is the means what are the documents to be collected in case of home loans? These basics should be known to the DSA, right? Otherwise, then how will the DSA work? So it should be familiar. Now when I say unfamiliar, this is not the right answer then. So all of the above is also out. So the answer becomes what? A. Develop new business prospects in the specific geographic areas through cold calls. Right? Remember, any DSA should not at all interact with the branch customers too much. Of course, if somebody is a branch customer and the DSA gets it through cold calling, then it's okay. But he or she should not sit in the branch and contact these customers. Okay, I've seen many DSAs and BCs using the phone of the banks to contact the customers, isn't it? That's wrong. Okay. DSA should not. What should not be done by the DSA or BC? Here, when I say DSA, it means BC also. Okay. Contact the prospect on any service product offered. Inform the prospect about the business and organization's name and falsely represent themselves. Make any valid commitment on behalf of the bank for any facility or service, and all of the above. So DSA should not do what? contact any prospect for any service or product offer. Means if the BC or DSA does not contact a new customer, how will the business grow, right? How will the business grow in that case? So that's why contact the prospect, he should. So this is true. We want false, right? Inform the prospect about the business and organization's name. So this part is true. Suppose if any BC or DSA goes to any customer, he or she must identify himself or herself that I am from Bank of India, I am from PNB, I am from this bank. But look at the second part. So inform these customers or falsely represent themselves. So DSA should falsely represent, means DSA should tell some false information about the bank. Is this true? So this is not true. So B part is wrong, is false over here, and this is our answer because we wanted what? False, right? C means what? Make any valid commitment. Valid commitment definitely that DSA can make. Commitment in the sense to the level of DSA. Valid means whether if he or she is for account opening, then DSA can definitely commit that account can be opened in next 3 days, subject to the documentation. So this is known as valid commitment. Okay. So this is true, but we want false. So answer is only B. Got it? Now see this new revision batch and case study batch is coming up on April 14th for all the 4 subjects. Join it ASAP. Okay. April 14th, all the 4 subjects means here all the important case studies will be studied, important revisions will be done. That's it. Okay. No detail means what's here? There's no time now for detail in revision studies, right? So we'll be taking all the important concepts which may be asked in the exam. So remember, portion is new, 80% off is going on, double validity on Mahapacks. Okay, use this opportunity ASAP. Okay, I'll show you how to use this 80% off. Okay, use the code Y432. How to use this Y432? Let's go to Adda 24/7. Okay, go to Adda 24/7. Say this. You are on Adda 24/7. If you are having the app, go through the app. In the app, you are getting 1% extra using the coins. Okay. Then go to Adda 24/7. Click on JAIIB and CAIIB. Now click on the JAIIB 23 batches. See this. You will see this first batch, English batch. Okay. Click on this English batch. Okay. Now you will see the details of the batch. Details means what are the dates, what are the timings, how many days in a week, what all subjects are covered. Everything you will get it over here. Okay. Now look at the fees part. It has reduced to 2639 from 11,999. It has reduced to 2639, but don't settle for 78% off. I'll give you more off. Click on more offers, put the code Y432, click on apply. Look at this, 80% off you are getting, means 2399. Such a huge discount you are getting for this batch. Go for it immediately because this offer won't come every now and then, and importantly exam is just in May, just 1 month remaining. Okay, so I'll be back tomorrow with another series. Till then, do join this revision batch immediately. Okay, in fact you can go for Mahapacks also. In Mahapacks you are getting 15 plus batches. 15. Shall I show you Mahapack? See this. Mahapack means 15 plus batches. It includes all the regular batches plus the revision batches. Everything will be included. Click on this JAIIB and CAIIB. Look at this. Okay. Now click on JAIIB ka Mahapack. You will get all the batches over here, details over here. Means 15 plus live batches for all the subjects. You can go through this. Okay. Now importantly, again the fees part. 80% discount in double validity. Look at this. If you look at the validity, it is 6 plus 6 months, 12 months. And look at the fees. Put the code 78. Don't settle for 78% off. Okay. Put the code Y432. Y432. Click on apply. 80%. So 32,499 reduces to 6,499. Such a huge discount you are getting. Okay. I'll be back tomorrow with another series. Till then, bye everyone, and importantly, join this revision batch immediately.